Hello there. What's your favorite failed nation state? From the glories of Byzantium to the religious militarism of the Sikh Empire, I have a soft spot in my heart for countries that could have been. My favorite, though, is Gran Colombia, the dream of a united federation of South America led by the great La Libertador himself, Simón Bolívar. All began with this small rump state of Gran Colombia, lasting only 12 years, falling apart into the South American states that we're more familiar with today. But what if the story went a little differently? What if you could reunite to the glory of Gran Colombia and form the brand new Federation of the Andes? And that's what I'm going to do today in the newest Vic 3 DLC, Colossus of the South. I'm going to take this poor, disillusioned, yellow country and make it strong. For more varying challenge videos like this, you should like the video and subscribe. And you can look forward to a lot more videos on the channel because I'm moving to 2 videos a week, and the likes will make me feel better for the many hours I'll be spending in editing. Right, this is the situation we start with as New Granada, which is the first state we'll play with before we can form Gran Colombia. We've got a variety of little state bonuses, some giving us extra hardwood, but most of them reducing our state construction efficiency. But the states are pretty good overall. We have some journal entries that we're going to be working towards, including Gran Colombia and the new Granada nation, and I don't actually know what that does, all of which is new in the DLC. And we have 2 formables to work towards, Gran Colombia, which we can do by basically just taking Venezuela and Ecuador after getting nationalism, and a hegemony of the Federation of the Andes, but we'll talk more about that later. That's a long-term goal. Our biggest limitation at the start is going to be our low infrastructure in most of our states. So we're going to have to build basically just in the northern parts that actually have people and space to build things until we get railroads. At least we have 100% legitimacy, so we can pass religious schools pretty early to try to fix our abysmal literacy. Also, this state in the north, Antigua, is basically our only source of iron until we start conquering, so this place is basically just an iron mine. We're going to improve relations of all the European powers that matter, and let's go. Eventually, we need to be going towards nationalism because that gives us claims on all of our former would-be Gran Colombia states, but we gotta work on our economy a little bit first. We also get the brand new age of the Caudillos. Tell me in the comments that I messed it up because I'm certain I did, which honestly doesn't affect us too much except just makes the armed forces a bit strong. One of the other interesting things added in the recent DLC and patch is brand new Peru-Bolivia stuff, and it looks like it's already kicking off. Chile is already attacking Bolivia for a return state, so why don't we join in? Let's try to take some of the northern bits. All of northern Peru is pretty nice, it does directly touch us, but in Lima, there's gold mines, as well as a lot of population, but it's really just the gold mines that I want. And since it's going to be the biggest state, we'll make that the primary goal because the maneuver cost is reduced for the first goal you add. And we're going to start to mobilize our smaller army, but we're also going to actually add conscripts. I had to spend ages trying to figure out how to actually add conscripts in the new patch because it's totally different. Another thing totally different, and this is definitely in the 1.5 patch, I can add stuff to my army. We're going to give them chocolates because we've got sugar. Why not have a snack? Gives us morale recovery, which is a really important stat. Okay, kind of weird. Chile will be able to join my war if I add a return state from Bolivia to them. But weren't they already fighting for that? Did they just give up their own war? I don't know. Whatever. Come on, Chile, let's go. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, this is the problem with adding a state that doesn't touch you as the primary goal and then not adding the other states as primary demands. They back down. They've given me Lima for free. I mean, that's pretty good, to be honest. It just means I can't defend it very well if we get attacked later. But hey, free gold mines. This will allow us to build a lot more construction sectors and actually expand. This is brilliant. Also, I always forget about decrees, so we're going to be violently suppressing Lima and also encouraging various things in the north. We will be strong. In aid of that as well, I'm probably going to need to get police after my religious schooling. Let's do that. I need to be suppressing people. Sorry, guys. Right, since we are basically just trying to grow our economy before we hit nationalism, we need to think about capitalists. It's going to be the capitalists who get rich and actually fund our private investment sector. But not a lot of buildings make capitalists, and one of the best ones in the early game for places that can benefit from it, logging camps. Look at that, 100 capitalists per level. Let's just build some and try to get some rich capitalists to fund further construction. Unfortunately, the newly conquered people of Lima do not agree with my rulership. They're migrating away to Mississippi. You're joking. It cannot be better there. We also have some internal problems because the leader of our industrialists, Ignacio Santander, my god, look at him, is a bandit. So let's get rid of him. Bye-bye. And also, this is amazing. I did not realize it, but I was actually doing export taxes on grain, so I have begun the corn laws event chain. I'm going to get a modern conservative. For those who don't know, this is a really strong event chain that used to be a lot easier to get, but now is very hard, that at the end of it will give me a landowner leader with the market liberal trait, which will allow me to move to some very nice laws in the future. Oh yeah, look at him. Beautiful. Let's just make him the leader of the Conservative Party. Welcome, buddy. Lead us to greatness. Saying that, though, I'm not actually going to move to laissez-faire right away. It is a bit of a contentious thing whether or not you should go to it as soon as possible, but it does rob me of a lot of my construction sectors because it means 75% goes to the private autonomous investment, and they're not very smart. Plus, I don't actually have a lot of capitalists yet, so I'll move to this when I have a bit of a stronger base economy. I was hoping to make this a beautiful little history-focused game, but France had other ideas. Oh my. Also, before I forget, I've got to end the corn laws as well. Now that I have the modern conservative, I can just get rid of it very easily and get free loyalism. Let's go. Oh yes, look at that new loyalty. It's beautiful. And now for my favorite thing in Vicky 3, moving all of my mines up once I get atmospheric engine. Ah, that's so good. So much more resources. Why has the American Civil War fired so early? Or at all? Come on, dude, what are you doing? Jabez Smallwood. Okay, this game's going all over the place. Why is Austria now bankrolling me? Why do you care? This definitely feels a bit gross. Spain wants a defensive pact. The country that my country split from like 20 years ago now wants to be buds. But I need all the help I can get, so sure. Especially because it does look like we have failed the Peru-Bolivian Confederation. It turns out that for it to have failed, Bolivia needs to have lost all of her puppets. I only took one state. I thought that was enough, but no. So they're going to unite, and we're going to have to fight the United Peru-Bolivian Confederation. It'll be a fun challenge, though. I guess we should make a move towards skirmish infantry in the tech tree so as to ensure we can actually beat them when it comes to open conflict. Yeah, there it is. They unite. Well, congrats. That is a pretty strong and nice colored nation. Oh, that's a lot of battalions. Okay, we can also ask for an alliance with Brazil. My kind of goal here was to make Federation of the Andes and then also, like, unite South America, at least economically, so I think this is a good step towards it. But the big piece of news is we finally have completed nationalism, meaning we can have a nation of our own. Gives us claims over all of Ecuador and Venezuela, so let's just get straight to it. Let's take Venezuela. Okay, no one has intervened, so I'm just going to beat them up. My forces are better, more equipped, and more numerous. I'm just winning. Yeah, this is a foregone conclusion. Remarkably easy, so let's go down to Ecuador straight away. Like, why not rush this? Also, Brazil has exploded to a massive revolt, and they want me to join, but I'm going to say no. Okay, hear me out. And I'm going to make it a condition of my joining that they give me the bit of the Amazon that touches me. This is something you can now do. You can say, give me this, and I will join your side. So I can take Ecuador and this massive chunk of Brazil. And there it is, they gave it to me. Now we just gotta beat them up after having finished Ecuador. I can also form Gran Colombia, but I'm gonna wait until Brazil is dealt with because I think it'd be more pretty. Alright, there it is. Time for the new Grenadine unification. We have now become a slightly more interesting shade of yellow, and we are Gran Colombia. The next goal is Bolivar's ambition, but we need to have pan-nationalism for that, and that's going to take absolutely ages. So let's just focus on our economy and try to fix everything, which is not going to be hard to do because Ecuador is an amazing state. It has like 1 million people living in it, lots of resources. This is like a perfect industrializing state. Also, in between all of that, Spain just abandoned the defensive pact with me, which is very good because now America is invading Spain for Puerto Rico, but also a bunch of states on mainland Spain. But that is not the American flag, right? Yeah, they've become a presidential dictatorship. Okay. Oh god, their president actually has war in his name. It's not looking good for the Americas. Okay, a little bit later, and now they are the United Scientific Association? They're now a technate. Okay, America's just messed up, man. Currently just trying to grow our economy to be able to rival Peru-Bolivia so we can fight them a bit later. And Brazil is apparently having a hard time because they will let me add them to my customs union. Okay, I'll be in charge, you bet. And after a few years of just endless economy building, the Federation proposal is here because we've got pan-nationalism. This means that we can finally put ourselves as a unification candidate. Unfortunately, I have to be a major power to be a candidate, and I am not. I need like 100 prestige. I need technologies, I need military, navy. This is going to take ages. Okay, it took me 8 years And that might not seem like much, but that is 8% of a full Viki game, and for me with my dog crap CPU, it was about 3.5 hours. We can click the button now to start it, but I'm going to wait until I have the better artillery. Okay, there we go. Everyone's good. I've started upgrading all of our artillery, and in that time, I say we start the conflict. Alright, it's basically just like the unification of Germany, I guess. We instantly get unified with all of these states, and they just want to cut me down to size. But interestingly, I can add so many people to my side with sways. Obviously Brazil, who's my buddy, but I can also add Argentina. Let's see who wants to join. Alright, it's kicked off, and I got Brazil and Russia on my side. Why does Russia care? I don't know. Everyone just really likes the idea of a united South America. Immediately running into some problems, however, I'm not sure if it's because of the mountains or what, but the fronts just aren't quite working right. Like there's a front around Lima, but also a front on my direct border with Peru, Bolivia in the north, and then another front in Brazil, but then they unite and then they break up, so my armies keep cycling back and forth. It's actually fine though. The Russian forces are here and my troops are better, so I am just sort of slapping them. It's just a matter of time. Okay, that was not that bad. I was expecting a lot more drama, but Peru, Bolivia had lots of troops, but they were under-equipped and they were behind technologically. So I win. I have taken everything I need. And boom. We are now the Federation of the Andes, a very strange purple color with a bunch of weird internal green borders that I don't understand at the same time, but it doesn't matter. We are awesome. For some reason, it also annexed a random state in Chile, but not the central state of Chile, but I don't care. This was the goal. We did it. We get prestige, we get influence, and we get clout. Come on. This is worthy of a like if I ever saw one. I think we're going to call it here. We have formed the Federation of the Andes. Also, it's almost 1890 and my computer literally can't handle it. So there you go. Thank you so very much for watching. There's a lot more videos coming on the channel soon. 2 videos a week with HOI every Friday. So I do hope you'll subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.